Good morning. This is Karen with Veronica's Dreams Tarot. Today is our daily or weekly, I like to call it our weekly reading because I do the journey spread with what we're leaving behind, why, what we don't see, the star, and challenge and destiny. I'm using the Baroque tarot deck today. See how that goes. And I do personal readings. The link to my website is below in the description. There's also a link to my email, so if you have questions or anything like that, you can go there and hit me up. So, let's do two more, please, and tell us what we are leaving behind and why. Four of Wands, Judgment, and the Hermit. Why? Knight of Swords, what we don't see. Six of Wands, what is guiding us. Nine of Pentacles. Challenge is Justice, and Destiny is the High Priestess. Always when I see that in the end, it's kind of like a, we don't need to know right now. Bottom of the deck is Empress, so I feel like whatever this is for this week is, really trying to, I don't know, I think there's going to be a feeling this week of really nurturing ourselves and taking a look at it. And I think this might be pretty spiritual because we've got Judgment and Hermit in the past, and even Justice is somewhat a little bit, like a little bit spiritual to me too when I'm seeing it in this setup, but and Empresses too. So I feel like this is really, there's something that we're doing to grow this week. There's or we have been in the past, and I think this week we are moving forward. Like there is energy of forward movement here, and that's good. Overall, let's get into the reading a little bit. So what we are leaving is Four of Wands, Judgment, and Hermit. And I think there is this feeling of, let's see, there we go. Judgment is renewal, and Hermit to me is really like focusing in on something. And so I feel like you're at the point where, okay, I'm done with this Hermit mode. I'm done with, trying to, I almost feel like this is, I'm done with celebrating the past. It's like I'm done with that. The past being Judgment, like wanting to, renew things and do that. And the Hermit is really, sitting there and thinking about things. And I feel like there's something about the past here. I don't have a past card, but I do. And maybe because it's what we're leaving, And the Judgment to me is about, rebirth and renewal. So I feel like there was some kind of thought process, celebration of yourself in the past in a certain way. Like, let's say you had a really good relationship, or you felt like you were really like physically in shape, or there was a job that was really good and you don't do that anymore, right? There's some, or a project, even if it's not work, but there was something in the past that you have focused on and you have wanted to renew. And I think that in the Hermit, you were really trying to figure this out, like how to get this back into my life. How do I get this back into my life? I feel like that feeling of how to get this back into your life is what you're leaving. And I think that's a good thing because the why is the Knight of Swords. And to me, that's saying that you want to move forward. You are wanting to move. Like, instead of sitting here thinking about the past, how do I get this back? No, it's time for me to move forward and move up and on and get this done. So I feel like that's what the why, the energy's back, the I think that the hermit time is done. You're like, you know what? I just got to move forward. I got to go. I got to, get my stuff right here. And what you don't see is the 6 of Wands. And I feel like there is things happening around you because this is something you don't see. And the 6 of Wands always, almost always on all the cards, he has people around him celebrating him. And I think there is things going on around you that you don't see or aren't aware of yet. And those things are, things that can help you feel better about, whatever it is this trying to relive or redo or bring back into your life. And I feel like this is saying, you've got things around you. You don't see this yet. And this is good because it's the 6 of Wands. So to me, that's a very positive card. And then what is guiding us is the 9 of Pentacles. And that's just, I think that almost to me almost feels stubborn in a way. Like it's kind of got a stubborn attitude to it right now. This is how I'm feeling. Like, no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be successful at it because this is a confidence card too. So there's a little stubborn and confidence. And I think that that's good. Like this is guiding you. This confidence, this stubbornness, this willing or wanting success. And when I say success, I'm not talking this grandiose idea. I mean, success in our everyday. Like this is about just feeling accomplished and this is guiding you. But I feel like what's really good about this card right now is the stubbornness behind it. There's almost a feeling of stubbornness, and that's good. Sometimes we need that. We need to be stubborn and say, I'm going to do this, like regardless. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to move forward. So your challenge is justice, and I think that's just staying clear and still staying true to yourself. Justice is about the right thing, and if it's court proceedings, the right thing will happen. But I think, too, it's about being true and honest because, I just get that feeling like be true to yourself. The challenge is going to stay true to yourself. Like it's really easy to all of a sudden get this confidence and this stubborn and I'm going to do this. But if you don't stay true to yourself, then what you're leaving behind is not going to, this new thing is not going to pan out. Because part of what we leave behind when we're leaving behind something, and I really do feel like this is part of your life, like, how you felt at a certain time and you want that back. But if we're not true to ourselves in trying to find a new direction, we're going to end up going right back here and wanting this again. And if we're true to ourselves and true to how we feel and true to what will be good for us, then we can move forward correctly and stop wanting from the past, so to speak. And then the High Priestess to me is just really, this card to me is my stop card. Or here's the two things. You either know what's going to happen, and I don't think that's the case here. I think you're not supposed to know yet. Like the destiny is unknown yet. Because I think it's all in how you your attitude. I am going to grab a piece of advice from the Light Seer. I'll grab the Light Seer deck. And just to see, but I think like that's what it says is, okay, do this first, because then don't have these. Sometimes when we are given an answer, we don't search for our own answer and assume. And sometimes I think that's good when the tarot says, no, you don't need to know this yet, because spirits, all of those things, there's certain things that we have to live through to learn our lessons, to grow, and they're good or bad. I'm not saying you have to live through hard times. It's good and bad things can come about. But sometimes when we know the answer, we don't live through that trial and error. Whether the trial and error brings us good stuff or negative stuff, it doesn't matter. There's some reason why we need to go through this process. And I think it's a lot about healing too. So if you don't go through this process to find out really what's on the other side naturally, then you've defeated the whole purpose of it. And and that's why I use the high priestess that way, because there's sometimes we're not supposed to know. And I have done some, you know, readings with my astrology ones where it's ended that way, and I know that people don't like it, but I have to be true to how I read the tarot. And to me, no matter what, there's times where we're just not supposed to say. And I truly believe that. So our advice, I'm going to just pull a card off the top, is the King of Swords. And, you know, and there is a part of me that goes back to, oh, and look, the Empress is at the bottom of the deck. So this is really important. That, yeah, this is important for you to nurture and grow and learn. And the King of Swords tells me too, for some reason, I'm like, stay true to yourself. That's the key here, is think about things absolutely. And yes, plan, because he's a planner and this is advice. And he's definitely black and white. I would say be careful of that so much, but have a plan, move forward with intent, you know, have an intention set, and then you'll learn what you need to learn, see what you need to see, be where you need to be. And I think that that's the key here. And it's really interesting that both of those, I always look at the bottom of the deck when I pull an extra card from a different deck, and I usually ignore it, but that caught my eye because they're both the Empress. But I do believe that this is a very important thing. The Empress to me is a very important card as far as growth and nurturing and spirituality, but in a sense of self. So I think this could be really good. Overall, I think that this week is really about looking at what's new and setting intent for what's new. What can you do differently to bring you new satisfaction versus looking back in the past and looking at the old satisfaction? What can you do to bring new? And I think that's the key here. So I hope you like this, and I hope it resonated. If so, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Any comments are more than welcome. And have a beautiful day. I appreciate you very much. Thank you.